Hello everyone, I'm Anuj Jaggi and I'm a legal intern with Lexus and Company. And the topic for today's video presentation is the working journalists and the other newspaper employees Miscellaneous Act of 1955. So the history of the legislation goes before the independence, where the Indian press in general had a single objective in view, namely the political enhancement of the country, and many journalists with nationalist fervor of those days were prepared to make sacrifices for the country's cause. After the independence, newspapers became vehicles for the advancement of political and business interests of newspaper proprietors who failed to appreciate the status and role of the journalists. Subsequent developments in the newspaper industry established beyond doubt that these fears were totally imaginary. The the employers attempted to scuttle the act by challenging the validity of the Working Journalists Fixation of Rates of Wages Act 1958, which empowered the government to constitute a committee to fix the appropriate rates of wages for the working journalists. So the first attempt at wage control as provided for in the wage order of the Government of India did not achieve what the journalists had originally hoped for. Although working conditions registered some kind of improvement and every attempt was made by the employers to circumvent the provisions of the wage order, and journalists were dragged to the courts. The litigation, however, proved beneficial to the working journalists to the extent that it helped plug the loopholes in to plug the loopholes in the laws applicable to them by an amendment of the act later on. So, the Industrial Disputes Act, made applicable to working journalists, was a comprehensive act for settlement and adjudication of industrial disputes. However, the unfettered system of hire and fire which prevailed in the newspaper industry prior to 1955 no longer obtains in the industry on such a large scale. The standing orders help to maintain discipline in the industry, while the courts have held the power of management to direct its internal administration, which indicates the enforcement of the discipline of the personnels. It cannot be denied this power has been subjected to certain restrictions with the emergence of the modern concept of social justice, that an employee should be protected against vindictive or capricious action on the part of the management, and which may affect his security of service. And on the question of constitutional validity of the Act, a constitution bench of the Supreme Court, Express Newspaper Private Limited versus the Union of India, upheld the validity of the legislation named the Working Journalists Conditions of Service and Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 1956, passed by the Parliament, the purpose of which was to ameliorate the conditions of the working journalists and persons who were working in the newspaper establishments. After the amendment in the 1974, the Act has been renamed as the Working Journalists and Other Newspaper Employees Conditions of Service and Miscellaneous Provisions Act of 1955. So, in exercise of the powers conferred by Section 29 of the Working Journalists Conditions of Service and Miscellaneous Provisions Act, the central government made the rules, namely called the Working Journalists and Miscellaneous Provisions Act, and further, on the recommendations of the Press Commission, the Government of India placed on the statute book in 1955 an act which was the Working Journalists and Other Newspaper Employees Act. So the Act provides that for the purpose of fixing or revising rates of wages in respect of working journalists, the central government, as and when necessary, shall constitute the wage board. So this was the part 1 of the video on the act of working journalists and other newspaper employees, and I'll be continuing it in the next video. Thank you, everyone.